Jaya Jagadambe, He Ma Durga, He Kali. Jaya Jagadambe, He Ma Durga, He Kali.
Jaya Jagadambe, He Ma Durga, He Kali. Jaya Jagadambe, He Ma Durga, He Kali.
Jaya Jagadambe, He Ma Durga, He Kali. Jaya Jagadambe, He Ma Durga, He Kali.
Jaya Jagadambe, He Ma Durga, He Kali. Jaya Jagadambe, He Ma Durga, He Kali.
Jaya Jagadambe, He Ma Durga, He Kali. Jaya Jagadambe, He Ma Durga, He Kali.
Jaya Jagadambe, He Ma Durga, He Kali. Jaya Jagadambe, He Ma Durga, He Kali.
Jaya Ma, Jaya Jagadambe, He Ma Durga, He Kali. Jaya Ma,
Jaya Jagadambe, He Ma Durga, He Kali.
Jaya Ma, Jaya Jagadambe, He Ma Durga, He Kali.
Everybody sing with me.
Jaya Ma,
Jaya Jagadambe,
He Ma Durga, He Kali. Jaya Ma, Jaya Jagadambe,
Jai Ma.
He Ma Durga, He Kali. Jaya Ma, Jaya Jagadambe, He Ma Durga, He Kali.
There's more of you than when I sat down. Where'd y'all come from? Whew. Wow, so much goes on. I really do have about 3 channels. Unfortunately, language only lets me use one at a time to convey things, but so much went off in my head. I think I should do a Wednesday service, although there's going to be a wonderful Wednesday service this Wednesday. Yes. Yeah, everybody. It's all about, moving into love, and it's going to be presented by our Prac 2 students, and you're going to love it, so please be here. But I was thinking I'd like to do a Kathianne Unplugged, because just listening to that, I am reminded that there's bhakti yoga. That's a type of yoga. Yoga means to link, to bring together, to yoke together, to bring the spirit of our spirit, our soul, into greater alignment with the divine. And there's karma yoga, which is that of sacred service, that of getting outside yourself and serving God by serving others. To be a selfless person for, an hour or 15 minutes a day or a year or whatever. And then there's Jnana Yoga. Today I'm going to be, and Jnana Yoga is the path of knowledge, to just know things, to know what's right and truthful and good. And today I'm going to be quoting some words that are accredited to the man Jesus. And I sometimes wonder if people out there, when I talk about Jesus, if they get like hiccups or anything. Anybody? Because let me just see if anybody jerks. Jesus. Only 2 people jerked. It's really good. Less than first service, proportionately. But I realized when I was listening to the music is that Jesus was a jnana yoga. And Vishnu, in Hinduism, there's three gods. There's the Brahma that creates. There's Vishnu that sustains. I had to bring that in because you mentioned it, Well, because I might have done a whole new talk, but now I got to mention sustaining. And that which recycles, destroys, let's go back into the nothingness so it can be recreated again. Because everything is in a cycle, an evolution of things, an unfolding of forever into form. And Vishnu's always been my favorite because it reminds me that if I was created, it's God's job to sustain me. If God gives you a job, it's God's job to sustain you. If you have a purpose, it's God's job to sustain you in that purpose. You're not on your own. You're not alone. And I went to a temple in India, and it was I forgot the name of it because there's so many stands. Anyway, stand this and stand that. And it's because it's in the northwest part of India. And it was built on a ridge overlooking a lake, and there's a great beautiful palace in that lake. And I went to a Hindu temple there, and it was dedicated to Vishnu, and there were all these pictures. And I thought, that looks like Moses. And that looks a lot like Jesus. And Vishnu, it supposedly shows up in form. It shows up in the form of Rama or Krishna when human beings need it the most to bring wisdom. And I love that idea that they would have Jesus up there because there was a time when part of the population needed wisdom, divine knowing. You shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Jnana yoga. It's, God is so creative and expansive in its way to download its sustaining nature. So, here's some wisdom. I need a Kleenex. That's my wisdom for the day. Don't think of these things and think you can get away without crying. I'll just use this. Here we go. All right. The theme is about creativity. It's Spirit says to sing your song. And the whole, well, not the whole song. I'm not going to sing the whole song. Lucky you. but the words go, Spirit says to sing your song as if your whole life depends on it. Depends on it. Because it does depend on it. Your life does depend on it. Now, not necessarily your physical life, but your creative, expressive life. To share your chi, your energy with the world, because you were created for a unique purpose and to live your purpose. So Jesus, according to the Gospel of Thomas, said it this way. Maybe this inspired Ricky Byers to write that song. I came into the world so that you might have life, but I found most people asleep. In fact, they're having nightmares. It's hard to express yourself when you're asleep. You're there, but you're just asleep. And that's sort of a metaphor, but I think you know people that have been asleep, that just are going through they were creative and learning, and then they just sort of like cruised. They just cruise into life. And I can honestly say with love that I feel like that was some of my relatives. My father got tired of living in Oklahoma. Don't know why. And yet, no one else would leave Oklahoma. And I would visit and I'd go, it's hot, it's dusty, it's human. You have chiggers. Chiggers. Do you know what chiggers are? You don't want to know. They get in your legs, they are in the grass, and they just light in and they dig in. Oh yeah, they're amazing. And there's tarantulas and big scorpions and did I say hot and dry? Dust bowl-y kind of experience. And it's not like they like where they live. It's just that that's where they live. We live here. And so, but they don't know they have choice. They're there because they've been there. Now, that's not to make it right or wrong, but how many of us are in jobs or relationships or neighborhoods we're there because we're there? And the choice is gone. And Spirit says, sing your song, live your life, as if that expression depends on it. I love this, and many are having nightmares. And I believe that as a Jnana Yoga, as someone of knowledge who is on that plank of ray of the expression of the divine to bring information to humanity, man, we are having nightmares. He was so ahead of his time. He was so ahead of his time. Depression is up, and it was up before the pandemic. Yes. And it's gone up since. Anxiety is up. Yes. The need to numb out with alcohol, drugs, substances, or processes is up. Loneliness and isolation has been proclaimed a national epidemic. Oh, good times. And suicide in young people is on the rise. Young people starting at the age of 10. I'm a Debbie Downer. This is kind of why I like Jesus so much. Because he was such a cool kid. I mean, he was only 32. He was still young. When you get my age, 32 is a young'un. Not only did he bring wisdom, and he knew what kind of plagued people at a core level, I like what he said. Not what he was said to have said, but what he said. What we know that he probably said, because people researched that, was pretty cool. For instance, he never said anything bad about women or how they should be in their place. He never said that homosexuality was wrong. And he never, ever said that one race was better than the other. That all happened later. So, how are we going to address these issues, these nightmares that people can succumb to? I'm preaching here, dear. just telling you. Thomas said, the Gospel of Thomas said that Jesus said. And now, why do I quote the Gospel of Thomas? Because it's in the Vatican, but they didn't want it out. One. And it was probably written sooner. In fact, it was written, not probably. According to people that study these things, the Gospel of Thomas is the earliest gospel that we have, even before Mark. So it was the least edited. In fact, it wasn't edited because it was put away. So, in the Gospel of Thomas, Jesus said, when you bring forth that which is within you will save you. If you do not bring forth that which is within you, what is within you will destroy you. I put that back. If you do not bring forth that which is within you, what you do not bring forth will destroy you. Because you just won't have it in you. And I love this. It's this, Spirit says to sing your song as if your whole life depends on it. Bring it forth as though your whole life depends on it. Your life as in flourishing and bearing fruit and thriving. Taking up room depends on you bringing forth that which is inside of you. You were created, this is so cool. You were created to save yourself. Nobody's going to come along and save you. Invisible or visible. With or without a holy name. You know, how many of you have ever just wanted somebody to save you? Now tap yourself on the shoulder and say, I'm it. According to this. And it's within you. It's not like you were put here and then you're supposed to find it. It was in you in the beginning. What will allow you to live fully is in you from the beginning. I love that. And you're not going to be saved from hell. Now, that's a place we don't believe in. But you're going to be saved from some of the ills that I just spoke about. Within you is the opportunity to overcome depression, anxiety, loneliness, isolation, and this experience of hopelessness. I'm on my own. You know, one of the phrases that I know that I took on in the 90s is, if it is to be, it's up to me. What a bunch of bunk. Because I'm so grateful I've run up into things that I could not possibly have handled, but there was something within me that could. I'm so grateful that I can just be humble enough to say, I can't handle this. This is bigger than me. Yippee! God's in charge. It's not hopeless, it's hopeful. We also have within us the ability to heal the dull aches of our physical and emotional being. The dull ache. How many of you, sometimes I just notice it comes in waves, just this dull, There is that within me that can save me from staying there. I'm not saying that I will never have that. I mean, Jesus had bad days. I mean, he killed a fig tree, for goodness sakes. Tree destroyer. And me being a tree hugger, I would just thought that was very bad. Anyway. And, you know, people want to be saved from physical and mental anguish. I watch Hulu a lot. I watch Netflix, but this happens on Hulu, which is interesting. I pay for Hulu. And they still give me ads. What the? I mean, really. And then, so I know, because I don't watch other kind of TV, I know that there's a pill for everything. It'll save you from this, and we can save you from that, and we can save you from this, and there are some side effects that we will mention very quickly. So hopefully, with sweet music in the background, so that you won't notice that you might die from this cure. And there's something within you that doesn't have a side effect, except you'll get better. Woo! You know, this is old technology, but we haven't been using it much. I'm here to inspire you and empower you to find out what's inside of you, to bring it out so that you have a life that you were born to live. And it doesn't mean that you're famous. It doesn't mean that you're rich. It means that you're expressive, because in the grand scheme of things, you were created for a reason. And I don't know what that reason is, but I do know that you can find it out by going within. How to do this? First, and this is the biggest thing. Begin to identify with your spiritual nature. I mean, we say, and I'm going to just see if, check inside. Don't just believe what I say, because I can be quite adamant. I'm a really good salesperson. But it doesn't matter what I say. What matters, does it resonate? If it resonates, use it. If it doesn't matter. Find something that resonates with you. Find your path. Find your methodology, your way. But how many have heard we are spiritual beings having a human experience? How many of you think you believe it? What a bunch of bunk. If you believed it, you would be living full throttle. That's God saying, get a grip, pay attention. And it's also somebody's car saying, use your little clicker deal. Anyway, so Jesus said in the Gospel according to Thomas, if people ask you where you come from, say, we come out of the light. We come out of the light. Now, this just isn't just a nice phrase. We sing songs like, I am light, India Ari. I am light. We sing it. We sway to it. I know I've going through all of the workshops and personal work I've done with people, I know that I've led at least 1,000 people into the realization of who they were before incarnation. Before they took on a persona and a family that would shape them and lived and put themselves in a country that would shape them, at a time and place that would shape them, before all of the shaping. People have had the experience of being pure light, pure love, pure power, pure consciousness. And do they know everything? What they know is that they don't need to know everything because they'll know what they need to know when they need to know it. And such a sense of security. That's all. I mean, people have experienced it. I work individually with some people, and they experience that. Now, what's interesting is that's our spiritual nature. That's what's within us. That's what was with us in the beginning. I love this song by Ricky Byers, Back to the Beginning. In the Gospel according to Thomas, when the disciples say, how are we going to end up? He said, if you don't know the beginning, you're not going to know the end, because the end is the beginning. That place from which we came is where we're going. But guess what? We didn't leave it. We just decided to forget for a while. And then we got seduced by the world of effects. And it seemed so real. And yet when I'm working with people and then that other space, that's real. That is real. Real. Which would actually solve a lot of pain. Because there would be this sense of security. There'd be this sense of I canness. Actually, if we interpret the Lord's Prayer in some ways, in a way, it is the realm of I can. That kingdom of heaven is the realm, the kingdom of I can, my own capabilities. And we wouldn't be so disturbed by what other people said about us. And we wouldn't be so disturbed that once we did something and it didn't work out, it's like, oh, well, let's see what happens next time. Yeah. But we can become so weighted by what we observe and what we tell ourselves. Now, what I want to say is, no matter what you've been going through, much of the pain, especially emotionally and mentally, is only a habit. I want to put it where it is, only. I don't mean to dissipate what you're experiencing. I don't want to say you're not experiencing it, but I want to tell you what spiritually it is. It's a habit. This comes from neuroscience, and that's what this workshop is this afternoon. That we get triggered, and when we go out, and then we're afraid we're going to get triggered, so we, and I don't, and we go through life hoping nobody bugs us, instead of just saying, I'm a porcupine. Nobody's bothering me. Touch me, I don't care. Here's an example of it. I was working with a woman last week, and she was in that place. In fact, what she described was undescribable bliss, beyond description bliss. And we were working on this issue of her feeling unworthy. And she had her story about why she was unworthy. It's what her parents had told her and people had told her. It's not that they told her, it's just that the way she'd interpret it is, I'm not worthy, I'm not worthy. And so she would have this, I would do, but I'm not worthy. And because and then because of them. So she comes out of this experience, and I say, so if you do this, what, because she has this trigger in her life. So now imagine yourself in that place. What would happen? And she goes, oh, and she looks back to the past. It's a habit. And she's recalling what her father used to say to her. And so she went from bliss to, it's a habit. It's a habit. She doesn't know that in that instant she gets to choose. As Paul said, choose you this day whom you will serve. It was one of the prophets. Choose you this day whom you will serve. As for me and my household, we will serve the Lord. Or I will serve that spiritual essence of me. And when I say serve, what I believe they meant, and what I mean when I say serve, is I'm going to honor that. I'm going to pay attention to that. I am going to listen to that. I'm going to take orders from my spiritual self, not from my little 12-year-old that believed what Daddy said. The spiritual path or the way is finding peace, poise, and power in this lifetime, establishing heaven on earth. Jesus also said, ye are the light of the world. If you come from light, you're the light of the world. Light comes to the world, understanding, illumination, ideas. You know, that's why cartoonists, when a cartoon character has an idea, it has a little light bulb. When you get, aha, new ways of doing things, that's light. It comes through people like you. Think of how the world would shift if more people got lit. I'm sorry. I'd love to blame it on the devil, but the devil doesn't exist. It's just me. I meant lit up. Your light. Share your light. Okay, let's move on. Oh, babies. So, what are we going to do? Jesus said it this way, know what is before your face, and what is hidden will be revealed to you, for there's nothing hidden that will not be revealed. He also went on to say when his disciples asked him, well, so if we're going to follow you, how are we supposed to pray? What food should we abstain from? And he said, do not lie. Do not do what you hate. For all things are disclosed in this realm of heaven. And what I realized, so I'm just going to, my interpretation of this, because this is what I've been doing for a long time, even though long before I read these verses, is what I've noticed is that when people are in pain, they're lying to themselves. And a lie causes suffering. Because a lie perpetuates the sense of separation from our God, from our good, from our adequacy, from our capability, from our spiritual self. So I want you to try a little experiment, right? Let's try on lying. Now, when I work with people, I watch their faces. And when they're telling the truth, their truth, not the truth, their truth. When you say your truth, your face will light up. Now, some people will smile and they're grimacing and but the body cannot lie. And when you tell your deeper truth, your spiritual truth, there's a whole different look. And now I'm not going to look at all your faces and point people out, liar, liar, pants on fire. I want you to feel what's going on inside of you when I ask you to say things, okay? So just feel what goes on in you after you repeat these things, and then if you can, also pay attention to what happens in the room when you say these things. So, please repeat after me. I am unworthy. I'm not good enough. I don't deserve it. There's no hope. I am what I am, and it's not very good. How do you feel? It's pretty icky, huh? And the whole room is like, rah, 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 rah. Okay, let's try this. Repeat after me. I'm a piece of work. Created by a universal love and light. I'm here to shine. I'm worthy of goodness. I'm good enough to receive blessings. I expect them. For myself. And my people I love. And those people I don't love. There's no end to blessings. There's no end to good times. I'm an idea machine. I spread love everywhere. If you've seen me, you have seen the God that made me. I am the way. I am the life. I am the truth. How's that feel? Now, for some of you, maybe it doesn't resonate. For those of you who do you see why choose you this day whom you will serve? Are you going to serve the highest thing that makes you feel good? Or are you going to go back to that habit of questioning yourself? I mean, have you noticed when you question yourself, you go, wah, wah, instead of, I'm the light, so of course I'm going to be filled with ideas that are going to serve me and others. So, and we guess, okay, come on. So we tried this out first service, and it wasn't too bad. So what you have to do is not just do it on Sundays, honeys. Now, we're here as a spiritual spa to get new tools and find a new spiritual muscle to strengthen, even if it's just smiling. Did you know that, the Vietnamese Buddhist? Yeah, that guy. My husband read a book by him, and he said, if there's only a few things you can do every day, breathe in, breathe out, smile. Do you know that when you smile, you actually shift the way you think? You can't worry and smile at the same time. You can grimace, but you can't worry and smile. What divinity, what intelligence. So what we're going to do is we're going to, day by day, oh dear Lord, three things I pray. To see thee more clearly, follow thee more nearly, love thee more nearly, day by day. How are you going to do your work? Day by day, day by day. Oh, dear Lord, three things I pray. I'm going to choose to love my life. I'm going to choose to give my service in the world. I'm going to choose to believe in myself.
Hell yes.
Because I am the presence and the power and the love of God in form, kind of short, kind of chubby, but still God.
Me too.
Day by day. And so it is.